Welcome, my friends and enemies. Glad you are here. This one's a bit of a weird one because it's like political, but it's not political, and I don't like really doing the politics aspect because it just kind of it derails the nerd culture a little bit, rather than just having stuff that makes culture, whether it be the Iron Age, whether it be your own little works, whether it be books, games, music, whatever content. And I was a little surprised, to say the least. But of course, the usual suspects are involved, as you might expect. Um, Wizards of the Coast is involved, but not directly. Slightly directly, or indirectly, I guess you could say. And I was a little torn on whether or not I should do this at all, but I said, you know what? It's a surprisingly unifying thing as opposed to a divisive thing. For once, it's been a while because it's very rare for people on the same side as us and the people opposing us to come up on the same page and say, that wasn't cool. So, in the sake of unity, or for the sake of unity, let's dive into it. So, this is a letter about a fellow named Joe Brennan, and it's based upon the North American Eternal Weekend 2025 event. Now, this is at the beginning of October 3rd when this happened, or beginning of October, October 3rd of this month, 2025. There is a convention center, David L. Lawrence Convention Center in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. There is Hasbro, Wizards of the Coast are both on this letter, as well as the convention center, and the foremost Card Titan. Now, I don't know very much about Card Titan, but for those of you who don't know as much as I do, which is already a little bit less, Card Titan is the company running I guess it's a store or a set of stores. They're running the event at the convention center for Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro. So Hasbro owns Wizards of the Coast. Wizards of the Coast allows Card Titan to run events, and the convention center is where they're hosting it. Now, I'm wondering if this is the convention center I went to when I went to a Grand Prix many, 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 many moons ago. I did terrible. Go figure. I wasn't that good at it. And I had to rent a deck because I had no decks of my own. I was starting out brand new, and a buddy of mine's like, "Hey, if you organize all my cards, I'll pay for your trip." So I organized 10 to 15,000 cards for him by color and alphabet because I have problems, but it was fun for me. So Card Titan apparently pulled something. So we're going to read the letter and go from there. So, dear all, we are Magic the Gathering players of differing political views who are writing to express our disagreement with how one Magic player, Joe Brennan, has been treated by Card Titan, the organizer of the 2025 North American Eternal Weekend in Pittsburgh, the premier global event for older, eternal Magic competitions, banning a longtime community member 2 weeks before the major event without any explanation, process, or recourse raises serious concerns for the Magic community. We write to request that Joe be given the explanation and process he deserves, and that all recipients work to produce clearer event rules that are fairly enforced. Joe is well known in the Magic community for winning the 2019 North American Vintage Championship, for being a continuous presence at similar events, and for wearing a Make America Great Again hat. He has been banned from many game stores and Magic events for wearing the MAGA hat. The list of events that are off limits to Joe's now included this year's North American Eternal Weekend. On September 23rd, well after he paid for the event, paid for the accommodation in Pittsburgh, and had taken time off his work as a contractor to attend the event and drive visiting friends from Europe, he was told, with no explanation other than multiple reports we received regarding your behavior in 2024, that he would be refused admission to the convention center and would have his entry fee refunded. Joe has received no further explanation from the decision makers at Card Titan about why he is being refused entry. explanations from the decision makers. Notwithstanding repeated outreach from him and the fact that Card Titan has communicated informally with third parties about the decision. Many of us consider Joe a friend and a pillar of the Eternal Magic community. Some do not. Some of us share some of his political views. Some of us do not share any. Some of us think that the Joe wearing a MAGA hat to Magic events is in poor taste. We are nevertheless united in the feeling that Joe, like any of us, deserves better. So from what I can gather from this event is that Joe is apparently MAGA, and that people who aren't in MAGA and people who are in MAGA are unhappy with Card Titan's handling of the situation and want him to receive some process in which, recompense is actually reached, because, the guy paid in advance before he made plans. If he was told, hey, you're banned, and here's X, Y, and Z reasons as to why. And you can't just shout, bigotry, or whatever nonsense that they would probably spout. Because even if he does wear something that you don't appreciate politically stance-wise, unless you're forcefully mandatory, dress appearance, you have to dress a particular way, you can't wear red, and you can't wear anything that's political. If you have that, and it touches everybody equally, then maybe you have a position you can stand on. But it'd have to apply to your events, not back in other events that he has appeared in. Now, it's weird for this to be such a unifying thing. As a Magic player, not amazing by any means, but as somebody who enjoys playing Magic the Gathering, specifically Commander, I know a lot of different people from a lot of different backgrounds, political backgrounds, ideological backgrounds, different worlds entirely. There's lots of people that I've played with, that I have talked to about Magic and stuff, that don't agree with me on very much of anything, really. But we still have fun playing Magic the Gathering. And if I was to say this person is making me uncomfortable with their bigoted clothing or whatever, well, you wouldn't be able to have half the people that show up to Magic the Gathering, if not all, because one side or the other is going to eliminate the other side, or they're going to eliminate each other if that was the rule. But typically, Magic players will set aside their differences, minus the extremists, and the extremists are the ones you shouldn't be listening to. They usually separate their differences from the tournament, or from just playing Magic the Gathering in general. And despite Wizards of the Coast really trying to run Magic the Gathering into the ground, people are still coming together and saying, you know what, I don't want any part of this. I don't want this to be a thing. I want us to, continue being a community, and Wizards of the Coast can sit out if they want to. It's not a place where people should be going to attack one another or anything like that. It should be hey, I know we don't agree ideologically, I know we don't agree politically, I know we don't agree blah, 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 blah. Or even if we do, we're not here to talk politics. We're not here to talk ideologies. We're not here to do anything except play fairly and have fun. That's literally it. It literally cannot get any simpler than that. I don't know how to make it any simpler than that. The concept and the process of people enjoying a community to sit down at a table and play a game with each other. That's all people are trying to do. Everything else can go out of the way. And if a MAGA hat somebody wearing a MAGA hat makes you uncomfortable, well, somebody might be uncomfortable because you might be presenting yourself as a different gender, aka sex. And if that's the case, you're just going to be shooting bullets back and forth at each other, and it's going to be a massacre in the community of people just deciding we're not going to allow anybody to have fun unless you completely agree with me, and then no one's going to be able to enjoy it. But nobody wants that, except for the extremists, and the extremists can shove it, because we don't want that. We want a peaceful, fun experience where we don't have any screaming, no foaming at the mouth, no over-the-top reactions. It's just, hey, let's play some Magic, let's have some fun, and let's just move on with our lives. And if you have to, you can always pick up where you left off of your politics and your ideologies and everything outside. But ideally, don't worry about it. Like, politics and ideologies should not be the end-all be-all. It should not be your every waking breath. It should not be the only thing you ever consume. You should just have fun. Show other people that you're just like them, despite having differences. Like, you're both human, you're both trying to have fun, you both find Magic the Gathering to be an entertaining way to enjoy your night. That's simple. So I was surprised when I saw this. And again, because it has like politics and all that stuff, I don't really care for that kind of stuff personally. I might talk about something like if somebody has a particular ideology in like a game development company and they're just shoving it down your throat, that's one thing, because they shouldn't be doing that regardless of what side you're on. But it just happens to be always one side. But I typically don't want to talk about, elections. I don't want to talk about that nonsense. But I don't mind the philosophical ideas of principles and stuff like that. That depends on the instance. But I was pleasantly surprised. And I was wondering if this is the same convention center I've been to personally, because that would be fun, kind of funny and interesting, I guess. So who knows? But I hope Joe gets something out of this. I doubt it, because Hasbro, Wizards of the Coast, and apparently Card Titan are not ideologically aligned with him. And I don't know if they consider that, like, how many people this is going to even entail, to be something that anybody's going to give a crap about, period. So I guess if there's any more information, we will find out and we can pass it along. But as far as I'm aware, it's not a whole lot. So I'll keep my ear to the ground and see if I can hear about anything. But I'm not expecting them to have a follow-up. So we'll just move on, I suppose. But that was the big bits. So thanks everybody for hanging out. If you leave a comment on your thoughts about whether it be Magic the Gathering, the community, how did it handle it well? I think it personally handled it well, but do you think that's as good as, or too good to be true, or whatever? Do you think it's a lot of people, or do you think it's just a couple people who are just like, hey, this guy's a pretty okay dude and he's fun playing Magic with? Or we all looked up to him to build decks and all that. Like, whatever the situation be, you let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. Hit that like button, share if you don't mind, so other people are aware of the video, that thing. Check out my streams on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Also check down below in the description for content creators to check out, as well as companies to check out. I don't get sponsored by anybody, but I do feel that I should let other people be aware that there are others out there that are good to to follow. That's the word. But if you know of a potential content creator that you think I should shout out in the description, give me a holler and or leave a comment rather, and I will check it out. Also check out Twitter/X or my Discord in the description and come hang out. Check out memes, do all the fun stuff. So thanks everybody. Remember, my friends, walk in the light.